I should be glad I returned home to the real world. Or shouldn't I? For now, I just couldn't evaluate the situation reasonably. I couldn't understand whether I wanted to stay there or to enjoy my long-awaited return. I noticed a 5 ruble coin on the table. I took it and began to toss it up without any purpose, containing the number of heads and tails. A long time ago, maybe even in school, I heard that an infinite number of coin tosses, the possibilities are not equal to 50% each. Maybe it's because the coin doesn't have a perfect shape and weight, or because of some other reason. However, after some time, I counted 70 heads and 71 tails. So the theory of relativity lies. Reality lies. Wow. But I'm not the man to judge it. I don't know much about it. I recalled my childhood when I had heard the word tails for the first time. For some reason, it always made me think of squirrels. Maybe there is some logic in this. A squirrel does indeed have a tail. Now this theory seemed strange to me, but at the same time, I couldn't find any conclusive evidences to disprove it. So does it mean that squirrels come out more frequently than heads? But one must consider that a squirrel has a head as well, so I yanked on my hair and sighed exhausted. Now's not the time of thinking of such rubbish. On the other hand, what is now the right time for? What can I do? What is under my control? If I hadn't bothered trying to find answers during the week there, what would be the point of thinking now? Maybe I should just try to go back to my ordinary life. The words ordinary life are painful to me. Why did I choose that specific word? I could have said past, former, or something else. I guess because it was what I was used to. That's the most obvious answer. As they say, what you get used to becomes second nature to you. Instantly, all of the last week's events floated before my eyes. Did I really want to stay there so blindly? Was just 1 week enough for me to get used to Olga picking on me all the time, Yelena's pranks and joking around, or Alice's cheekiness and mockery? I had no answer to this question, but it's obvious that I already missed it. Although I'm sure I'll never return there. Obviously, I can't tell whether the force that brought me there might want to entertain itself again. And again, and again. It is possible. But for now, I have what I have. An adventure that I'll remember for the rest of my life. Damn it! How many people get to experience something like that? Even books, even dreams about such things are unthinkable. The main thing is that it wasn't Dr. Maru's evil island, but a normal Soviet pioneer camp with normal pioneers. And its commonness was overlaid by the astonishing origin of my arrival there. Anyway, it wasn't the worst experience of my life. Perhaps it was one of the best. Obviously, it's sad that everything just ended halfway through. But every story, even But every story has an end. It's good that it has ended that way. Who knows what else could have happened? Is that it? Was that it? Time passed. The events that took place in the camp now seem more like fascinating novel I once read. Now I have forgotten them, I could recall them in the finest detail. I remembered how as a child, I used to lie under a blanket and flashlight and read fiction books about space flight until dawn. Sometimes I was unable to get up to go to school. My parents always used to scold me for that. But with every night's approaching, I would carefully turn every page, trying to absorb every minor detail of the story. I had similar feelings about the Pioneer Camp. Reality, if I can consider it such, now seemed more like a book. I didn't think it was bad at all. In the end, the main thing is to remember, and it is not important whether these memories take the form of a slideshow, photos, videos, or audio. Now, each bus made me feel both fear and hope. At first, I circled around the 410 route without purpose. Several times, I fell asleep on the same seat, but nothing happened, not even a trace of something supernatural. As times went by, I stopped these idle trips. Something changed in my life. It just couldn't do otherwise. A couple of weeks after my return from the camp, I took my guitar that was lying lonely and gathering dust in the corner. Striking a couple of chords, I remembered Alice. For me, her image was inseparable from this instrument. At first, it didn't work out very well. Maybe I had no talent for music. I started reading teach yourself books and watching video lessons. On the other hand, all the effort wasn't a burden anymore. I just played the chords and polished my skill. And as with any kind of activity, including music, practice makes perfect. About half a year later, I realized that I achieved more results. At least I could now smoothly play parts of my favorite songs. Satisfied with my progress, I put a couple of advertisements on music forums intending to form my own band. I still have no idea what kind of music I wanted to play. My taste varied from something really heavy to anime soundtracks. At first, it seemed impossible for me. I would have communicate with strangers, and what if we are just too different? And anyway, how do I explain the others what music I want to make? But it all worked out much easier. The potential candidates turned out to be not so frightening, and our tastes were mostly the same. After all, we shared the same goals, so issues stemming from a lack of understanding could be resolved. And soon we had a band. Suddenly I discovered my talent as a composer. Having spent entire days and nights on the note editor and sequencers, I started composing okayish things. At least in the opinions of the other band members and pals I showed my songs to. Quite soon we gave our first concert. A D-list club, not significantly more spacious than my bedroom. 3.5 viewers who weren't exactly sober. I was hellishly anxious, and the sound equipment was constantly malfunctioning, but all of that didn't bother me because I was happy. since this was just the first step to success. However, it was a long time before we were invited again. With great difficulty, we managed to record 3 tracks and publish them on the internet. The reviews were far from ecstatic, but it didn't bother me much. It was just a beginning. Maybe some considered our music just a leisure activity or brief fiction, but for me, it was serious. After all, it was me who founded the band, and all the music was mine as well. I felt a personal reliability for the fate of my creation. Every spare moment I spent on improving my performance technique, and after a year, I could already confidently say that I wasn't the worst guitarist in the world. The same sort of popularity came. We were giving concerts almost every week, and were finally getting paid. If paid, it wasn't important that it was just 500 rubles per man. The fact that our work was in demand and someone was ready to pay for it, even though we were usually a warm up for other bands, was what mattered. I was sitting by my monitor, torching a guitar. The date of upcoming concert was thickly circled on the computer desktop calendar. The very thought of that gave me goosebumps. It will even be the first time we will be headliners, and we'll have an album presentation as well. I wonder how many discs would be sold. Of course, the CD era is already over, but there are still some who appreciate it. Maybe some will buy it just so to support the band. I looked at the date once more. Yes, it is exactly a year since I returned from Soviank. My smile reflected in the darkened monitor screen. I wonder whether Alice would like my music if she existed in this world. Don't think so. She preferred Soviet rock classics, but who knows? I played a couple of complicated guitar parts and concluded with a feeling of satisfaction that the sound of my guitar surpasses by far that of a Soviet Euro guitarist, and my skill has become that of the guitarist of the same era. I wonder whether I would have achieved all these without those fantastic events. Unlikely. Nothing strange about that. Lots of people rethink their life after stepping close to the edge. Sure, nothing dangerous happened back then, but a physiological shock is a good substitute for a grave danger. I rehearsed my part once more, put the guitar into the case, and packed all my stuff and headed to the exit. It was cold outside, just like that day. Slowly I approached the bus stop for the 410. Such a coincidence, I am going to the club once. This very same bus. With a sinking heart, I counted down the seconds. Soon the bus arrived. It idly opened its doors and swallowed up a few passengers. It was a winter night, just like back then. Cars flashed by outside their headlights, igniting the city as it got ready to sleep. The closer we got to the downtown area, the more people there were in the streets. Some of them were chatting merrily, some were pursuing magnification boutique windows, and some were hurrying somewhere, paying no attention to anything. The day I had no wish to return to that camp. Any other time, maybe, but not today. I must play that concert, and the rest can go to hell. I had a clear aim, and nothing else mattered. the club was constantly bigger than the one we played our first concert in, but at the moment, it was empty. The sound check was going on. I couldn't hear the drums, though, through the monitor loudspeakers, which I desperately tried to tell the sound guy about it. Sound tuned, gadgets installed, set list all prepared, ready to rock. But it is a special day. We are not doing the warm up. The other guys are doing the warm up before our concert. Thus, our entrance is last. As I listened to the first band, I noticed they have a lot of improving to do. On the other hand, we were no better not so long ago. As the time got closer to the start of our performance, my tension grew enormous. Come on, I was literally shaking with anxiety. I decided not to listen to the other band and to wait calmly in the dressing room. Judging by their expressions, my mates were in the same mood. We were silent. Actually, we had nothing to talk about. Our parts were learned and perfected long time ago. Only nervousness could hinder us, but we already have some experience, so everything will be fine. I comfort myself with this thought. And now, finally, the time has come. I don't remember how we entered the stage and greeted the audience. My consciousness turned on the first chords of our first song came from the speakers. While sitting in the makeup room, I desperately tried to warm up my ice-cold fingers, but now they ran from string to string without the slightest mistake, as if they were charmed. A thought flashed across my mind. Why didn't I still make a single mistake? When I played all these chords at home or during rehearsals, I never thought about it. Everything seemed a matter of course. But now, when I stood in front of an audience, it felt different. Somewhere deep in my mind, there was a thought that soon my finger would slip, and thank goodness the thinking didn't interfere with my playing. Our performance was nearing the end, and now it was the time for the difficult solo I'd been learning for so long. But by that point, my nervousness had vanished, and I played through it perfectly, even better than during the rehearsals. Finally, our performance was over, and the concert hall burst with applause. I smiled awkwardly. At least I thought so, and bowed several times with the rest of the band. They shouted "Encore!" to us. Even without them shouting, I would have been glad to play something else, but we'd ran out of songs as we were just a newly formed band. Euphoria prevailed in the dressing room as we congratulated and hugged each other. The sounds of opening champagne bottles echoed in the halls. All our discs had been sold, which made me even happier. Finally, I managed to become something too. It's impossible to predict the future of our band or of the whole affair with music. But one thing was clear, I have finally found something I am interested in and can dictate my entire life to. As well as that, I can see that it may be able to make people other than me happy too. I was probably now the happiest man on the earth. At least it was surely the best moment of my life. The club is empty, instruments are packed, and I am waiting for the others so we can go home. I glanced at the stage where I'd be standing just an hour ago. Once again, joy, pleasure, excitement gripped me. This won't be the last time I appear on that stage for sure. Maybe even grander stages like concert halls and Olympic stadiums are in the future now. Or in the future. Who knows? Anything is possible now. After saying goodbye to my mates, I ran to the bus stop and luckily caught the 4:10 bus. Nobody was inside. I took a seat behind the driver. Just like back then, some familiar tune could be heard from the radio. Maybe one day my songs will also be played on the radio. In some way, these strips were similar to the events that took place a year ago. I mean, at the moment, everything is expected, achieved by means of hard work, and the planned result is fulfilled. But I am returning as another man. A man who has changed in a way. Achievement so hardcore. Alice, bad end. Every story has its beginning and its ends. Every story has its own outline. Synopsis contains key points and prologue and epilogue. And there is no book which, if you read it again, would not reveal new details you didn't notice before. Every story has a beginning and its end. Almost every. Soviet games. So thank you for playing. Oh my god. I got the bad end. How do you get the good end? Alright. I was about to cry on one of the parts because as he got better and he pushed it for his dreams. That's what I want to do basically. I want to like be a good artist and I want to like put it out there. Not also that, but I want to have my own business, like just like Rooster Teeth with the animation, the video games, and like the big short films and all that other stuff. That's what I want to do. And now like that kind of like made me tear up because it was like the like weird way of just so weird. Thank you. Goodbye for now. Ah, God. Well done, Soviet games. Well done. You made me really, like, I'm not even joking, like, you really made me think, like, over it about this. Like, for some reason, I know I feel internally sad. I don't feel I don't feel out of body sad, but I just feel internally sad because it's like once, like it feels like sad. Like once you go back to the place where you belong, but you didn't care, you just like feel sad. But it's good that Simon the good. It's a bittersweetness to it. It's a bad end, but it has a good ending to it. Like, if we haven't spent a lot of time with any of them, especially Alice, we would have done nothing. We would have seriously done nothing, and we would have progressed in nothing. And that's exactly how I feel. I mean, I would have loved to be with Alice and all that other jazz, but it's just like it's a good end. That's all I'm gonna leave it at. It's a good end. That's all. I get it. It was nice. It was back in time, but I will say this. It's confusing. The way that you're going, the way it could take 2 turns with this one person, and that confuses me a lot. I think it confuses most people, because it seems like you're going on a good path, but then Simon keeps rejecting himself and making excuses. And then, like, you feel like you can't control that, but somehow you can. If you read and pay attention, like, you can control them. And that's all I have to say. That's clever. That's really, really clever. Like, they make you, like, in the beginning, you can tell, like, I was, like, making jokes, making funny voices and all that, and I was like, oh my gosh, wow, this is, like, really, like, really, like, really surprising with all these, like, surprising acts and all these surprising scenes. I was laughing and all that. But then I started to, like, think, like, towards the end, like, I started to connect with these characters more and more, and I started to hinder on one character, which was Alice from the beginning, and I was like, okay, I'll stay with her. And so I did. Throughout the story, I stayed with Alice. And then, at that point, I just noticed, like Simon didn't feel the same, but then he admitted it too late. And I'm back where I started, but in a better way. And I didn't know, to me, for a first time player playing this game, I did not know what road I was going to hit with Alice. Because I thought it was just going to be a good end. Like, for me, I played Katawa Shoujo. That was my only and first visual novel I have ever played. And I didn't know where I was going to go. I was either going to go, like, I didn't know where I was going, basically. And all I thought was, like, okay, it's a visual novel. I can choose where I want to go. In all those stories, I would say they do have a good and bad ending, but I didn't run into them yet. Like I said, I didn't play the whole game. I played the prologue for each girl, and that's it. And I'm like, maybe there could have been something more. Maybe I could have failed or something. Maybe something could have happened. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm sorry. Also, I'm sorry. I'm probably gonna cut this, even if I want to. But if you're a trooper, you can go ahead and listen to me read for hours. You can listen into the background. It doesn't really matter if you watch or pay attention. You can just listen. Because this Soviet games, you have done a great job. You've put, like, a person into this world of the unknown, and you just like made it so that you would either have a choice to be, like, connected to these people, or just find clues and just get out of there fast as possible. All I have to say is great job. I will say more of my thoughts on this game more. Yeah, I will make a longer video than that, because I have so much to say. Besides, like, what I'm saying now, that's like 5 minutes of what I want to say. Like, I have so much more to say about this game. It's so... Oh man, I know, that's why I say I need to go and through everybody's ending. Because once I do that, I'll have a full understanding, and that's when, like, this 5 minutes will turn into 20 minutes. Or even more of just me, like, saying something about this game and just talking about it. But that is it for today. Hope you all guys liked it. I hope you all enjoyed as much as I did. Like, comment, and subscribe for more updated daily videos. And especially, we will get back to this after I figure out how to get the other endings. I will follow, if you're listening to this, Hawaii, I will follow your list of like how the order is supposed to go, or how you say it's supposed to go, or whatever. I'll try and do that. That's what I'll try and do, but I'll only do the endings. I won't do like every single dialogue. I'll do the endings. But yeah. Hopefully that's it. I mean, that's really much it. My name is Dubdevil, aka Q, and this was Everlasting Summer. I hope you enjoyed the playthrough, and expect more visual novels like this. See you all on the next, well, on the next series, I guess. Take care, and peace. For all of you who watched the video through everything, thank you, actually. That makes me happy to hear that you all actually watched, like, my videos. It doesn't matter if you even watch it for, like, 6 minutes or more. You watch every single, like, episode that I did of this game. And hearing me talk and make ridiculous noises in my loud voice of just, like, saying something, it's really a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I will succeed. I will try and get better at YouTube. I promise I will. I'm starting off with the basics, with a laptop and a head microphone, but I know I can do so much more. If I have the money for it, I can do so much more. But I will get used to this. I will, like, do YouTube when I'm like somewhat known. Then, like, I can expect, my goal for this year is to at least get like 100 subscribers, or like at least more people commenting or something, or more views or something like that. I don't know, but like some achievement that will make me strive to be better, and I will make myself better like that way. But like I said, my goal is for the end of this year is to at least get 100 subscribers, or either 100 subscribers or more, or 100 or 500. I don't really know the estimate, but in the half of the year, I will expect myself to get all new equipment, get my head wrapped around YouTube in all its entirety, how to edit more, better, and how to make more thumbnails and all that other stuff, how to make more quality videos, and how to stream. Actually, I really want to know how to stream, so through this year I might learn how to stream for a little bit. But I don't know what game I'm going to stream. Probably like something I like, but this game, it was a good game. It made me reflect on a lot of decisions. I'm not talking out my ass here. Like, I don't know why I'm like starting to talk about like everything. I started to end the video, but that's not there anymore. So thank you for all of you that were watching this video. Thank you so much. That's really, oh man, that's really fucking crazy. You guys are legitimately insane, and you're all awesome. And for that, I'll leave it all there. Like I said, I will see you all in another series, and potentially, I will say this: the endings won't. I will take a break from this because I'll have to like resort like my thoughts and think more about this game, and then I'll come back to it and post all the endings. So you might not see this within a month or within 3 or 4 weeks, but you'll know when I post it. I will either talk about it in a video or make an update video. So I hope you all enjoyed, and for that, take care, everyone, and thank you all so much for being awesome. Peace.